What's up, guys? I'm here with Thomas Lahart, founder of Flight Foods and one of the best UGC creators in Content Circle. Which
Nah,
is, no,
don't do me like that.
100%.
Nah.
You know, like you're over 10K a month. We have like 10, 15 creators that have hit that. You know, so you're one of the best ones. Which is
It's an honor. It's an
why
honor.
do you think, by the way, you're able to hit 10K so quick?
Man, honestly, I just was obsessed with it. I came in extremely hungry. Like, for context, like literally 2 months ago, I remember I have a supplement company and I was filling boxes out of my parents' office, and I was just like, I need some money. So what I did was like I just joined Content Circle and just got to it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad because a lot of people join, but they don't have hunger.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do something and there's opportunity out there, you just have to have some drive. It's a big thing.
It really, like, I think the best investment is in yourself. Like if you're investing in yourself and then you're hungry and you're just taking action, like that's the recipe for sure.
Do you think anyone can do it, essentially?
Anyone, yeah. It's funny, I was driving here and I was looking at like construction workers, which respect, these guys are the backbone of America. Like we need construction
And they're
workers.
tough as hell, yeah.
But I'm like, these dudes are tough, but do they know you could just pick up a phone and like, I could make what they make in a day in probably like an hour or two of just filming content on my phone.
Yeah, I know.
But that's like a different service, or like God bless them, but
hey,
it's crazy. Yeah.
Someone's got to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And you could tell them, hey, you know, you don't have to do this anymore. You can just go to the content gig economy, you know?
Yeah,
so instead of
facts.
driving Uber or, you know, working construction or whatever,
Facts, yeah.
you can just make a video. It takes 5 minutes and make 50 to 100 bucks on that video, you know? And then you can charge more and more as you grow.
It really is just like Uber, because when I was down bad, I remember asking people like, yo, bro, like, what side hustle should I do? And everyone's like, DoorDash, Uber, like, and I was like, I already did that. That
it sucked.
Flows. Like, shout out to them too. If you're hustling that, like, I have respect for anyone that's working, like, period. But I was doing DoorDash before, and like, I'm like, this is a tough job, man.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't in the best area half the time. Like, you're just delivering and some dudes like sketching you out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what would you make from hourly from DoorDash? Like
DoorDash probably like
20 bucks.
Yeah. I mean, then you got gas.
Then you got gas and like everything. So it doesn't even. First, you just sit at home. As long as you have an iPhone.
Yeah.
You can just make money from social media. I remember my dad telling me when I was young, he's like, son, social media is no way to make a living. You know, you can't do it. And I remember just being like, I'm watching Logan Paul make, you know, however many millions. I was like, dude, you can do it. And I thought you had to be an influencer to do it. Now, because of AI and how many new products are being pushed out every day, there is such a demand for content creators that can promote these things, even if they don't have a following, because people feel comfortable, they can teach you the skill and then put you in a brand to start promoting their product. It's a crazy gold rush era that we're living in.
100%. That's what I think. Content Circle is just that gap between. It's just the information and the connections you need to make it happen.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's nothing crazy. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like as a UGC creator you can make $100,000 or. That's why I don't go out and buy like a crazy car or anything like that, because that would be me showing a lifestyle that I didn't earn as a UGC creator. As a UGC creator, I bought a Porsche Macan. I didn't buy a Turbo S. Right? And so that's what I try to tell people is you can get a Porsche Macan with content, even if you don't have a big personal brand. Now, buying a Turbo S, you're going to have to start a business and do something like Flight Foods.
Hey.
And, you know, and that takes time and effort and a lot of those things.
Yeah.
But as a content creator as UGC, I got my Porsche with my first brand deal. It was like $23,000.
That's insane.
So I put the down payment down. I was like, dude, I can do $700 a month with insurance and the payment. No problem. You know?
How many deals was that for you?
That was one deal.
That was one deal.
My first deal I got was $23,000.
Was that the WAP one? Or the Whoop? Yeah.
After that, then I signed with an agency and was making like $5, $6K a month on top of that. And I was doing a creator rewards program, which was how much you get paid off views. So I was comfortably sitting around like 15, 20K for a while. And then I was like, all right, how do I get more than this? And I realized that's kind of where I was peaking with UGC. So then I started working with brands to get them creators.
Right.
And so I started running the agency. And we worked with so many different brands, but what I ended up realizing was I was essentially an employee. Like, they'll pay me good money to get them a lot of creators, but it's a huge headache managing all the creators, teaching all the creators, and being an employee for the business, and then doing that for multiple businesses at the same time. So I was like, you know what, I don't even like this. The whole reason I became a content creator was so that I don't have to be an employee ever. So I ended up dropping the agency and just doing the community, where it's like, okay, I can teach all these creators how to build a portfolio, how to make their first 5, 10K a month with content, and then I can work on my apps and my own projects in my spare time, you know? So that was kind of like the Ascension model. And everyone starts this way. You start with a skill, and then you learn how to sell that skill to businesses, B2B. And then you go info, which is B2C, teaching a wide consumer base how you did that. And then you go to something that's extremely scalable, like software, app, etc. So that's, for you, it's product, right? And you kind of went there right away. But a lot of people kind of work their way up until they have distribution or, you know, wide network.
I would not recommend doing the way I took it. Like, I started off with a product, and then I'm trying to build my audience, and then I'm also trying to get cash flow to fund all this and learn the systems. But that's also proof that if you just have drive and passion, you can do it the opposite way, kind of like me.
And a lot of people do. Guys like Nick Bear, who you know, started their business prior to having a huge network. You know, and it actually, if you can show people that whole journey, I'm sure a lot of people who follow you now are like, dude, Thomas, he grinded for a long time. He didn't have anything when he started, but we've seen him just get better and better. We've seen his personal brand level up. We've seen his products get better. People love watching you go on the street and sell. You know, give samples to people, interact with people. It just like, it builds this, you know, respect online that is honestly a moat, because most people are not willing to go out in person every single week and meet new people, give them samples, and people respect you a lot for it.
Oh, dang. That actually means a lot, because
no, it's 100% true.
It's cool because, like, you know, we're sitting here today, you know, talking about the success of like content creation and how it's such a good opportunity. But earlier this morning, I was doing a stand just because that's still like what I'm trying to build is flight foods, and you can still put a lot of time into that kind of thing while do content creation.
Right.
I mean, right now it's essentially full time as well, because I am putting a decent amount of time into it.
I consider content a job.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But it's just a way better job than being in an office.
Yeah, it's so dope.
So that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
I believe in using other people's money to learn and pursue your dreams until you don't have to use their money anymore. You know. But I was listening to a Steve Jobs interview this morning, and he used to do the same thing as you in the 90s. He would take Apple computers and go set up stands at shows or whatever and talk about Apple. He's like, this is the Apple II or whatever. It's like our first computer. You should get it. And people are like, I don't know, you know. And he was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Until they got to a point where, over time, you learn, you do new deals. I don't know if it was Apple, but I think it was Apple actually. But Steve went to this like local computer store and said, hey, we'll build you these computers. And the guy's like, great, I'll sell them. And the guy gave them money. So with his money, they went out and bought all the parts. Then they built them, and they built 50 of them and gave them to him. And then they were able to build another 50 with all the money that they got. Wow. And so they basically just were able to sell that other 50 and like double their investment, essentially. Wow. That didn't come out like perfectly clean, but my point is like you kind of like step up as you go, and you do these deals and things just build and build and build. You know, and it started with Steve Jobs going in barefoot to that guy's office saying, I want to sell you these computers.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
And that's going to be the moat as we continue as content creators, and you know, every type of business owner is grit. That is truly what I think is the last moat, is most people just don't have it. And with the increase of AI and how easy life is for most people, it's easier to scroll than it is to do anything else. So it's always going to be the moat.
Those are the people that end up pretty much paying content creators.
Right.
You know, so it's like, now I don't know. It's like, it's funny how that works, because like people scrolling or people watching the content now. Yeah. You can be a creator or you could just be a consumer. But if you just flip the script and you become a creator from consumer, then you leverage it. Like,
Yeah.
everything's how you make it.
This past year, I consumed a little bit more and created less than I had in the past. When I was just starting content, I was posting 3-5 times a day, every day for like 2 years. Crazy grind. You don't have to do that anymore, really, unless you're trying to be an influencer.
Okay.
But when I was doing that, I felt really good about myself. And then this past year, I focused more on the business. I wasn't creating as much for myself, and I didn't feel good. And now when I'm consistent with my runs in the morning, making content in the morning, having a good breakfast, doing skincare, eating well, I feel so much better about myself, reading my Bible in the morning. You do all those things, it just gets way easier to make actually better content because you care, like you love yourself, you're showing yourself love and care.
So true. So true.
And so you have to do things you don't want to do and create, and you'll just be better for it.
1,000,000%. Like, I remember you talked about that maybe a few weeks ago, and I started like scheduling haircuts like more frequently. I started buying like not washing my face with just bar soap. Like, I genuinely like, it's crazy the amount of, because it is, consuming content is also great because there's so much value out there right now. It's like Harmozy, you got like Rob the Bank, watching your videos and Joey's videos. Like, it's so dangerous, like the amount of knowledge you gain from watching those.
It's incredible.
It's insane.
But the truth is, if you want to build value, you have to take a step out into the world and get into the arena.
Right.
And until you're really doing that, like what you're doing with Flight Foods or what I'm doing with apps, you're not going to really learn that much. Like, there's only so many books on Steve Jobs that you can read until you unfortunately have to get into the arena and fail. Like, I just sold my first Bible app essentially at a loss. It was cool to sell my stake, but in terms of what I had spent on marketing it, time, sunk costs, opportunity costs, all of that, it was not a great investment on that end. But I did learn a ton of stuff, and I would 100% do it again and get back into the arena, which I am doing shortly, because that's how you ultimately learn. And so until you're willing to take risk and have courage, like, there's a quote, Rockefeller wrote 38 letters to his son, and one of them was, find your own way, like essentially have courage, and God will help you. Like, that's pretty much how it goes. If you,
100%.
The world will bend to what you want it to, if you're willing to put a lot into the world.
Amen. That's
Amen.
it. Yeah, like, I wanted to ask you this too, like, as far as people coming up with what they want to do with their life, like, what made you want to create apps and what made you want to scale that?
Yeah.
Because, as far as Flight Foods, like, I just like supplements, and it drives me crazy when people say like, oh, I don't know what I want to do with their life, but then they have a passion like fishing. Like, I know you like hiking and stuff too, or you like cars or something like that. Like, you just make a business around that.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's,
that's
your thing.
Part of the reason why I love the idea of the app space is because I actually love fishing.
Right.
And when I was a young kid sitting at Lake Mission Viejo in Orange County, California, fishing on East Beach Dock, catching largemouth bass, I realized that time was fleeting, and eventually I'd have to go work in an office. And so I'd always been thinking about how I was not going to do that. And I tried it with Fortnite. I played Fortnite professionally for a little bit. Played junior college basketball, hurt my back, didn't pan out. Tried it to be an influencer, which wasn't the right path for me. Sure, I have a lot of followers, or kind of a lot of followers. But what ended up really hitting for me was UGC, and that's when I realized anyone could do it. And I think everyone should try it if you're trying to make 5 to 10K a month. You don't need me or any course or anything like that. You can just go apply on sites and build a portfolio and give it a go yourself. So my mission, I've thought about this a lot lately, is to help people live their lives authentically and not be slaves to things like debt, job, career, house, mortgage, all those things. I think you can do that now through content, and my mission is to get as many people doing that as I possibly can. And the best way to do that is through consumer apps. And so if I want to get people to that level where I am, where all the content circle creators are, I need to build incredible products, which I've realized that are affordable for most people. You know, like $20 a month product that solves a lot of content creator issues is doable now thanks to AI. And I've learned enough from working with guys like, you know, Quinn at Neuro, Blake Anderson, my co-founder Andrew Schmitz, Minutes AI team, Sebastian Turner with, you know, a couple of his apps. And I've been around all these guys that I maybe don't know as much as them, but I know enough to have confidence to start. And that's why I'm now going to my third app. And this one have majority equity, and you know,
Oh, wow.
and so
I'm
it's
excited for this.
you just kind of keep learning.
Yeah.
But that's my goal, is how can I build products that are, you know, at the intersection of social media and career, so that people can make, and you're not going to make, you know, 100K a month as a UGC creator, but I do think 5 to 10K a month is enough to put money aside, live a great life. Insurance will be $300 a month if you're an individual. You should save, you know, $500 to $1,000 a month if you can, and then put money aside and travel. And that is realistic still in the US at 10K a month as a content creator anywhere in the world. And that's my sole mission. And that's why I'm going to apps, is because there's only so many people I can reach with my personal brand. I need to build a product that's markets itself for creators. So that's the goal.
Yeah, that's dope. I really like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing, like all those people that you just named you work with, like Blake Anderson and all those guys, like you met all those people by stepping into the arena.
Yeah.
And your circle got crazy strong, and now
Right.
your connections are there. And it's like, with the connections you have and the like-minded people you're around, there's no way you lose. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the other part of that is I do believe in God. And so if I take risk, ultimately I could fall flat on my face and the whole world could laugh at me. Whatever is the worst possible case scenario, I go bankrupt, whatever. We all die, and you know, as long as I'm right with God, then for eternity I'll be good. So I fully believe that, and it gives me more confidence to take risk. And then of course, proximity with a lot of these people, I do know it's possible. So why not me? Why not you? Why not any of these creators? So,
Yes.
and then having proof of concept, knowing that I have helped hundreds of creators. Content Circle has 352 people in the WAP. And so I feel confident that this is real, this is what I've done before, and we're just gonna continue to grow it, and that's the mission.
yeah, it really is. It really is like you're bridging the gap between like the traditional ways of, you know, you got to do this job, sit in the office, and no one's really passionate about it,
Yeah.
and the modern world where people are creating all the time. And
Yeah, and again, I just think that the way the world is going, with how high demand is for creators, that it's actually safer to try it and take a little risk that way than to not do it.
Right.
With the way the world is going. And I'm willing to bet on that, and I have bet on it, and that's why I built Content Circle. And so I feel completely validated in my belief system that there's a huge market of people that want to make money from content. And so, yeah, that's why now we're going to be creating products to do that for people as well. And there's this concept Steve Jobs talks about with mercenaries versus missionaries. And you know, mercenaries are people who go into a business and they're trying to make money. And UGC creators, usually for other companies, are mercenaries. They're not missionaries. They're not super attached to these brands, but the founders are typically. But of course, you'll get founders that are mercenaries, people who are just trying to make money by growing apps and things like that, versus people that fully believe in their mission for why they're put on Earth. And those people move differently, and they don't care about money as much. Think of people like Elon, who sold PayPal, had $190 million to his name in his early 20s, and then bet 200 million on SpaceX and Tesla. And there's many times where he went to zero. He had, you know, if he didn't close a funding round in a single day, he would have gone bankrupt and lost all of it. But he was a mercenary or a missionary, and he did not care about losing it all, because his ideal of going to Mars was greater than anything else he could do. And I personally believe if we can get 100,000 people making careers off content, which is already happening, this is the first year ever where content creators and user-generated media will make more money and more total revenue than traditional media.
That's
which is
insane.
insane. And so it's going to happen. This trend's been happening, and it's going to continue to happen. And I'm essentially betting on it with where I put my money and what products I'm trying to make for consumers so that they can become content creators and make an income from it, like I did. Because I just got back from Switzerland for a month, and that is 100%, worth it. And I think most people can do that when they get there.
And your business grew while you were there, right?
We had a slower month. But it wasn't the end of the world, I would say.
Yeah.
And so
But you're running it though, right?
I mean, I've hired a lot of people to run these things.
Right.
There's so many talented people out there that do want to make money from different things and have more control. And so I try to empower people to do that. Obviously, sometimes I give them too much rope and I don't pay enough attention and things fall off. But we fix those problems when they arise. And, we give people chances. So it's what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
But so I feel so strongly convicted about like this intersection of art and social media and technology.
No, I feel that energy. I feel like it really is there.
I really do feel it right now. And so I love just being around people like CJ Weber, yourself.
Yeah.
CJ essentially does what I do, but he does it with TikTok Shop. And it's because we're able to evangelize this very deeply with people because it really was our lives. And so we don't have to buy a fancy car to talk about how great content is for a career because we came from middle class families and it actually changed our outlook on the world. And again, I think maybe it's part of it is just gratitude and being super grateful that we're able to do this for a living and then trying to share that with as many people as possible.
Right. What's SideShift on the App Store right now too, isn't it?
SideShift was 15th on the App Store, and I actually tried to text one of their founders asking if I could invest. And I was because I was on vacation, and then I saw that it popped off to 15. And I know those guys. I've talked to them on the phone a couple times. And he texted me and was like, dude, we actually, never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. That's their business. I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm very high on SideShift as a product because of how they're able to capture Gen Z distribution. And I don't think many businesses are even trying to do that. I know one other guy that's really trying to leverage, Arya, TikToker? He has a pretty good idea, I think, of understanding like college distribution, Gen Z power. But SideShift has really harnessed that. And I think they're going to use it to do pretty big things in media. And I know a little bit of what they're working on. So extremely bullish. If there's any investors out there, you get in touch with SideShift right now, you'll be extremely wealthy at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's feeling kind of like, like when Gary Vee was like talking about, what was he predicting like 10 years ago? Like selling on social media.
He was doing that stuff like 20 years ago. Like Gary Vee was screaming into his microphone in 2003, talking about how, you should be posting on social media every day and traditional media is dead. And people were like, dude, what is this guy talking about? And it's, being early feels a lot like being wrong. It's the same response you get from people. People say you're wrong if you're early. And so he was early, he was vindicated, and he also bet on that era. And so I'm betting on a content creator era.
It feels very similar.
Yeah. Obviously I'd love to be at the level Gary Vee is at one day. I'm not even remotely close to that yet, but I do have the conviction. And
definitely.
And I do feel like I have some grit. In Finland, there's this word called sisu. And actually my business, my first LLC, has that word sisu in the title of it. And the idea is that sisu doesn't have an English translation, but it roughly translates to undetermined grit in the face of adversity, like just an insane determination and grit. And a lot of that comes from the Finnish people just being tough as hell for cold winters, 8 months out of the year.
Tough, man.
Right. So I feel like I have that, and I have conviction, and that's all you need. And then you just figure it out as you go,
And then faith,
Faith, yeah.
Faith, you didn't.
So you can take risks, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's like, it's like kind of the crazy cheat code.
Yeah.
But you have that faith that faith is not believing what you see, it's believing it before it's even there, right?
Right. Well, that faith too, but I have faith that God's plan
Yeah.
will be done no matter what.
100%.
So I don't even have to really stress. I can do this and try to help people. And again, like, I could die, I could go bankrupt, the world could end, whatever. It's not even up to me. It's in God's control. So I may as well try to, bring this potential career to as many people as possible. And now with technology and me starting to understand design a little bit, I think I'll be able to do it and make it beautiful for people. And I didn't appreciate design really. Like when I started with apps, I thought there's marketers and there's developers. But the best apps have beautiful design. And so design is a whole nother instrument that comes in. When you're building an app, not sure if you know this yet, but you have an idea, you try to validate the idea. Maybe you try to just push out like a little MVP or something. I don't really believe in that. Like I'm a content creator. I've been doing it for years. I know what creators like. I speak with creators every day. It's my job. I don't have to go validate an idea. I know the fucking area. Like this is what I do. So anyways, you have the idea, you wireframe it out, so how it will flow. You do this in like Figma or something, and there's like templates kind of, but essentially, landing page and then logic. Like I click this button, where does it go to? And you have to like build all of that out for the developer to follow. So, you give them like what a creator wants to see and feel as they go through this whole thing. And then you go to a designer and you say, make this gorgeous. Like I want buttons that look like this. I want animations. If I'm posting 100 times, 100 days straight, I need a medal for it. That looks really cool and unique and is shareable because I'm proud of that and it's getting me closer to my goal. Same thing running apps do. Like Runna has this crazy post-run flow where it's like a 2-minute long slide thing that you can tap on like stories that show your, all your training efficiencies and how far you ran, and you get medals and all this stuff. And it's just beautiful. And I think that's where, social media will be going too, a little bit. So
I feel
we'll see.
that. What was the app you were showing me too? It was the one running app.
Aura.
Aura, yeah.
Yeah. So Zach Pogrub started, I don't know if that's how you say his name, but he's got a great personal brand, and he essentially built a product based off of it. And what Zach did great is he built a product that markets itself. So the whole idea behind Aura is building a creative tool for athletes to share their athletic endeavors artistically. And so he's built that, and the whole point of the app is you get your run, it's in there, it syncs with Strava, and then you put like these cool pictures and you share it, and it just has like Aura in the picture. So all these people are sharing the app based on the main feature of the app is to be shared. And so with things like that, Cluely, like these guys just ripping, clipping, and viral marketing techniques and going crazy, I think the world is just completely changing from traditional marketing, even more. And it's fun to watch this evolution always occur. I love it. It's just great. It's just great.
It's a beautiful thing.
And so, this is kind of funny. I haven't really been super involved because I've been in love with my girlfriend, and we've been kind of, just hanging out and doing stuff. And I get to a point where I start getting super anxious and stressed because I just haven't been pursuing what I love. Like I love this stuff. And so, been talking to her recently. I'm like, listen, I'm working. I'm waking up, I'm running, I'm working, just because I love this stuff. But, where do you see the future of flight foods going from UGC creator? How is that going to benefit you with flight foods and launching your own business?
Yeah, I've been really want to talk about this, so I'm glad you brought that up. So I've just been buying back my time with it. So, I think one of the roadblocks is like, oh, you have UGC, flight foods, I'm starting a podcast myself. I want to start posting long form, all this stuff. But what I'm doing is I'm actually just buying back my time. So one thing I was doing was I was fulfilling all the orders myself. And actually next week I'll have a fulfillment center in Oklahoma doing that for me. And then as well as that, I'm just buying things like, maybe it's a little off topic from what you asked, but I just been wanting to talk about this for so long.
Yeah.
I've been meal prepping. I have a meal prep service. Like I woke up today, meals on my door. I'm not spending any time doing dishes. We're going to Publix, except for like once a week. I was going like 3 times a week last week. And yeah, I'm just buying back my time.
Yeah.
So that was maybe a little bit off.
That's probably
topic,
one of the best things you can do with with UGC, I think, is making like good money to where
Yeah.
you can offset a lot of those costs, buy your time back, and do higher leverage things for your time.
Yeah, like the fulfillment service, and then as well as that, I got a manufacturer in Tampa where I'm slowly moving everything, so I can just have more eyes on the product and do behind the scenes. And
Content.
Yeah, content. And now I know content even better. So it's like, it's just such a good snowball. Yeah, it's like, it's the
Yeah.
best, man.
Yeah.
Like, it really is.
It is so good. And if you're not playing this game, you are behind. I was listening to Roy Lee, I think that's his full name. I think he's the founder, CEO of Cluely. And Cluely is they market it geniusly as a interview cheating tool. Essentially, it's like an overlay on your laptop. You open up your laptop, you turn it on, it sees everything. So if interview asks you a question, it's also multimodal. So depending on what it sees on the screen and what the interview is saying, or it could be a test or whatever, it's actually giving you answers on the side while it's going on. And so they market it as a cheating tool, which is obviously extremely viral. And he actually got kicked out of Columbia, or he got suspended, and he's like, yeah, I'm leaving, something like that, because they were promoting this thing in the way that they did. And he often talks about, just to go back to the main point, that this is the future of marketing. It's no longer billboards and ads, or even, I think, traditional UGC is also already being phased out a little bit. Like, you have to be doing things that are new and innovative pretty much every time you have a product if you want to be successful. It's occasionally you can do what Kali has done, and be a copycat app, great, but you're never going to have the success of Kali, and it's going to fizzle out fast. So yeah, I think you have to do something new and innovative essentially every single time new apps go to market. And people, it used to not be that way, really, but that's how it is right now, is how creative and outlandish can you be, and how, and Roy talked about this too, a lot of people don't like being hated. I don't like being hated, but in my TikToks, I come off that way sometimes, and it evokes strong emotion in people, which is really, really good, because you want them to feel strong emotion towards you one way or the other, because then they're talking about you, right? And so it's a huge, powerful thing you can do, is evoking strong emotion in people when you're marketing. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
One way or the other, you want to be really hated or really loved. You want people to feel you, because then they'll talk about you. And if you're just kind of out there just doing your thing, they don't care. You have to make people care.
When you also, something I love about the content circle is, like, when you take the leap and you start making content circle, you're just always up to date on what's happening. Like, you're always like, the second an update goes out, it kind of goes to like guys like you first. Like, I know it's like the TikTok Go stuff and Instagram updates.
TikTok Go.
And then you're just alerted about what's going on, and then you can just plan accordingly.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, it's funny because like, I went to go out to see some like friends like from a little bit ago, and it feels like a new language. Like, I'm like, bro, you're so behind right now.
Yeah.
Like, you got to catch up.
And the thing is, 2 months from now, there'll be another new thing, and this will get phased out. And it just goes so quick. You have to be in a community of people that are constantly pushing towards the new edge of what space you're in. So there's a book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. And Naval is an investor, founder of Angel List, I think it is. Very successful, smart guy, lots of good mental models for thinking and making decisions. And one of the things he talks about is specific knowledge. So when you pursue something really hard that you absolutely love, at the end of that is specific knowledge. It gives you insights that other people who are just starting or even good at do not have. And that is what Thomas is talking about with content, is where Content Circle is a tight group of creators that are constantly on the cutting edge trying to get these little advantages that we can, and we share them in Content Circle. So we just combine specific knowledge, and you built like an internal network of leading edge tech and content. Pause. Hey. Dude, what?
That was crazy. Nah.
Bro, what? Bronny would have killed that dog.
Really?
I'm so glad I didn't bring my dog up here for this. Oh, man. Hilarious. Still going.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Oh, there's 2 dogs now. Dude, who's bringing their dog up here on a rainy day?
Man, yeah, shout out Heron, man.
I can't believe it's raining like this either. Is there anything else you wanna touch on?
I'm curious to see what the people want to say. Like, would love to. I don't know if you guys have any questions.
We'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
And we'll get some questions from people.
Definitely. It's such a I feel like such a cool fire towards it now as well. It's just like you want to share it with people.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think that when you bring other people up, and I notice a lot of successful people, they start mentoring other people so that they can work with them and like build things, you know?
Yeah.
Like I notice like Leo, like he brings up the drop shipping people so that he can connect with them. Like
Right.
I think I just want to harp on that. Like the community thing has been amazing for me. And like I was in Chicago, I met up with Jake.
Yeah. That was
like,
crazy.
Or anywhere, like anytime I run into a content creator, it's like, especially like Tampa, it's amazing.
There's a lot here. You know, Amelia, I saw her at Golds. She signed a 3K deal in Content
3K
Circle
deal.
for 4 videos. Yeah.
So that's.
I texted her. I was like, "Oh wow, that's incredible." Because she was like, "How do I negotiate
Casual.
this?" And I was like, "Oh, you should put it in wins." And you know, she just didn't answer me. I was like, "Bro."
Yeah, $750 a vid.
Yeah, but we have, I think we have like 10 or 12 Tampa creators. People are sleeping on Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm importing people here, and I have been for a while, trying to
Yeah,
grow
facts,
Tampa.
Facts, yeah.
It's good energy, and the Water Street area is perfect for what's coming, I guess, with the influx of people.
What are your thoughts on? Like, I think Tampa's probably one of the best environments to do it. That's another reason why. Like, another win I had was joining Content Circle. I moved right down here, like almost immediately, just because surrounding yourself in the environment is.
Because you made money right away, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I made money, like, I was like, all right, this is enough. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
You just have to. But you would encourage anyone, anywhere to join.
Yeah,
We got John. Shout out to John. John's in like Idaho, like making.
Yeah, you can be anywhere,
10K,
really. I mean, we have Leia and Joe who are in different countries in Europe.
Facts.
We have Josh Kogoy who just hit like 6 or 7K in retainer deals in Australia. So essentially anywhere, really. There's just endless opportunity right now. Literally every day, there are new apps being created, and every single one of these apps needs to get creators to go viral. So if we teach you that skill, getting views, going viral, or even just making high converting videos. Maybe you don't go viral, but maybe your video is very converting and you get, really good metrics. Brands are still going to pay you a ton of money for that. It doesn't have to go viral. They can just run it as an ad. So yeah, I recommend people do it. When I first started it, I was like, man, I don't know if everyone could be a content creator. Not entirely sure, but it's 5-10K a month is extremely doable.
For sure.
Portfolio, getting you in front of deals, getting starter deals, and then we start leveraging your platform to get bigger deals. That's why we brought Joey in to even grow your people's personal brands.
Yeah,
so the idea is just creating like an army of great content creators that businesses want to work with, and that ultimately the creators just make a ton of money.
Yeah, I'm stoked, bro. Yeah. I'm so in on it. So appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're doing good things.
100%.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
That was fire.
That was fire. Bink.